Welcome to Moto State Podcast, where we talk about motorcycles, life, and everything in between. We are back.
We're back. Big as life or something.
Right?
Oh, man. What a week. What day is it?
I know, right? It's crazy. It feels the weeks go by fast, but sometimes they kill you. Yeah, I mean, you've been in Texas and back already this week, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, I got back from Texas at 7:30 this morning. So,
Good Lord.
yeah.
Is it about an hour and a half flight from you?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
to Dallas, yeah.
Okay.
It was a little over 3-hour drive with traffic to Abilene and about the same back because, man, there's just a lot of traffic in Dallas Fort Worth.
Yeah. Did you fly out on Sunday or Monday?
Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. For many reasons, this being one of them, I was like, oh yeah, schedule. I'll just fly out Monday morning. No big deal after I take Sophia to school. Well, I took her to school, but, or actually, yeah, I took her to school, but, or no, she didn't have school and I didn't have work because it was President's Day. I was like, oh, cool. I'm working on my day off. Good for me. That's great. Fantastic.
Smart idea.
I'm not just a pretty face. Actually, not a pretty face. Not very smart either. So I'm not really sure what I got going for me. It's
Nice.
fine, whatever.
Nice.
I got a great personality. That's what it is.
So I've heard.
Yeah, that's the rumor. I don't believe it myself, honestly. So whatever. But it was fun to get down there. Stopped in the Fast Life Garage and said hello to Jace. I'd never been there, so saw all three of his bikes, the Shovelhead, the Choppa, and the FXR. Saw the bike he's building, which was really cool. Hung out with him for a little bit, and then went to their T-Bar Tuesday bike night down in Deep Ellum, just right outside downtown Dallas, and saw a lot of those folks and hung out with them, had a couple beers, and then realized about 9:00, I was like, I guess I need to book a hotel. So found a nice hotel downtown for $125 for the night. Like, heck yeah.
There you go.
So laid my head on the pillow for about 5.5 hours and got up and
Hit the
headed
road.
to the airport. Yeah. So,
Nice.
yeah, it was a good trip. I toured probably the biggest building I've ever been in my life, large industrial building. I was something like it was like 630,000 square feet.
Holy.
It was so big that we had to hop in the truck twice to drive all the way around it and get, walk through all the different units that tenants had there. Like one tenant had 375,000 feet themselves.
Wow.
So I actually got my 10,000 steps in by 10:00 that morning because
I bet you did. I bet you did.
Yeah, dude. Those boots were made for walking, buddy. Let me tell you right now.
Shit, that's a big building.
But I had to wear steel-toe boots and a yellow safety vest, so I was Bob the fucking Builder walking through there.
I guess so. I guess so.
Made that vest look good though.
Do you have steel-toe boots?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't have to go buy any. The guy that met me there from one of our lenders, our credit union partners, he had to go buy a steel-toe boot. So they're all fancy and pretty that we got done. He's like, man, I think I got blisters. Like, that sucks for you, buddy.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
no, it was that's the kind of cool thing. I get to do some cool things with my job. Banking, as Sophia says, Dad, that's boring. It is, but then I can go from San Diego last week to almost the middle of nowhere, Texas, and go through this big old building that's a distribution center for some large manufacturers' names we would all recognize, and,
oh, wow.
and get to walk through there. And then because my travels took me there and to Dallas, I got to stop in and see some people in the motorcycle community I know, and so there is some advantages there. It can be fun at times. So.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you at all.
And it was 80 degrees. So
oh wow, must have felt good.
Yeah, I didn't bring a jacket or nothing. I mean, last night t-shirt and jeans. I was
Yeah.
more than comfortable.
Yep.
They're all like, "Oh, it's chilly tonight." Yeah, fuck you. There's no snow on the ground. This is amazing.
I
So,
know, right? Right in
yeah.
the middle of that time, we're getting a storm. You're down in Texas with 80 degrees. But when I went out to Louisville to see Tony a couple weeks ago, um, quite literally, I got home on a Sunday, and by Tuesday it was 70 degrees there. He's already riding his motorcycles again.
Oh, it was like 70, 68 here today in St. Louis. But American Hero motorcycles, because I'm not far from 44, Interstate 44.
Sure,
Could just hearing them fly up and down 44, and I was very jealous because
sure.
I really wanted to be on my bike today, or all week for that matter. But
Yeah,
well, there'll be
yeah,
those days.
yeah. It happens.
Yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of bikes, so we've had some unseasonably warm days, so I'm able to get out in the garage and do these winter projects I'm trying to wrap up because before we know it, it will be warm weather here, and we'll get to be able to ride. And so, um, putting together, making a Pelican case for my tour pack on the FXR. I've got the crash bars on. I got a few other things I'm working on, but I was thinking to myself, as the community as a whole and myself, like, would this bike, would my FXR, would my Street Glide look any different if it wasn't for social media? If Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever was not in existence, would my bike look the same? And that made me think, like, maybe that's something we ought to chat about. Like, do you think, Ryan, that you're good, bad, or indifferent, would your bike look the same if it wasn't for social media?
That is an absolute great question. I'm going to say that it for sure would look different. So if I go back to like the first iteration of my Road King, um, I bought like the wind splitter windshield,
Mm-hmm.
and it had mini apes, and I just kind of adjusted the mini apes, and um, you know, it it wasn't a hell yeah brother because I didn't it because I didn't do all of the hell yeah brother things, but for the most part, that's kind of where I started. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And the thing was, is when I got back into that, even when I started following things on social media, my idea of what I liked and what I thought was cool and what I knew I could or couldn't do to my bike, that evolved over time. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And so, like,
Sure.
the first iteration of my bike was I got a windshield for a little bit of wind protection because I knew I wanted to start doing longer trips. Um, I bought a lot of gear, and even my gear preferences have changed based on how I ride, what I know I need, what I don't need. I mean, when I first started riding even long distance, I was fully clad out and all decked out with leather. I had my Harley leather jacket and my chaps, and I would layer up under my chaps and all of those things. And I'm not criticizing anybody that wears that stuff. Chaps
Sure.
are an extraordinarily highly effective tool for keeping yourself warm, keeping the wind off you, keeping your pant legs down. I mean, there's a
Sure.
ton of things why chaps are very good. You can, once you get to where you're going, you take your chaps off and your pants are clean. They're not covered in bugs.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of things
I
about
mean,
them.
that's assuming you wear pants underneath them. I don't know.
That's assuming. I mean,
yeah.
I did when it was cool out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it gets below 60, you better put some pants on.
Right, exactly, right. So,
Sure.
all of those things evolved for me over time. And so I would guess that my style would still be very influenced by that kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of the hell yeah brother kind of scenario. Tall bars and patches on my vests and chaps and a lot of leather, and that's a lot of even what I see around here still, because the performance bagger scene or the Dyna scene, that's not super prevalent in my area. It just, you can go to
I
a
was going
bike.
to say your environment, your local scene, whatever you
Yeah,
want to
the
call it,
local
it
the local scene. Yeah,
would impact you much more,
yep,
right,
yep,
than if it wasn't for social media.
yeah, and really, um, because we're not in an urban environment here, there's way more baggers and touring style motorcycles than there are, you know, Sportsters, Dynas, that kind of stuff. And
Sure.
we don't really have an urban environment. Like if I ride my bike around the city, I can pretty much go from city limits to city limits in 20 minutes.
Right.
If I ride, I mean, from where I'm located, it takes me about 3 minutes and I'm completely out of town. If I ride my motorcycle for 5 minutes, I'm already in what would be considered rural North Dakota because it doesn't take me very long to get out of town because
Isn't that the whole state?
I live right on the edge of town. I mean, for the most part, our state's
Yeah.
very rural, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
super rural.
sure.
So like where for you having your FXR and having your bagger really does make a ton of sense because if you're just going to rip around for, the daytime, your FXR is really what makes sense because it's
Game changer.
yeah, it's lean, it's fast, it's fun, right? And not that your bagger isn't, but you're not holding this big giant motorcycle at every single stoplight.
Well, I mean, in the city, like it's so much more agile to get around potholes and
Yeah.
stupid people and whatever else.
Yeah.
I mean, the roads in the city are just god awful.
Yeah.
And then, finding a place to park it's a little bit easier. I mean, I know it's not that much skinnier, but still, I mean, there's just so many advantages of that in the city, and that's what I've loved. But at the end of the day, if it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't have that FXR.
Well, right. And so there's that part of it too. So I think of it like when you talk about would your motorcycle look different? I mean, for me, everything, right? I mean, I was influenced by a lot of things in terms of, the style, how I wanted to dress, how I wanted to um, appear on my motorcycle.
Sure.
I have a vest that I put a lot of patches on and I was out in rural North Dakota riding by myself one day and I got pulled over. And
Really?
yeah, and for no reason. He told me I was speeding and I can guarantee you that I wasn't because I was out on a Sunday ride and I was by myself. So why would I be going, 20 miles above the speed limit? And he didn't give me a ticket. That's the other reason. But I had a vest that was very patched up. And so I think that and here's the thing, when he pulled me over, he spent a lot of time in his car. Like I looked at my clock. We were on the side of the road for like 17 minutes and I didn't get a
Oh,
ticket.
wow.
So he was running all my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking for arrest warrants, looking for whatever he could. So there's that. I also didn't know that, like, when people think of like performance bagger, for instance, some of the things that you do to a performance bagger, you do because they actually are a more comfortable way to ride. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Now, and I'm not criticizing anybody else, but I sold all my friends on T-bars, like or risers and moto bars. Like my Road King has T-bars on it. My friend Kenny, he's got risers and moto bars. Bob has a type of T-bar for a road glide that it actually has an open area in the middle of it, but it's a type of T-bar. That has, and for me, it was really about my positions of my hands because a traditional like bagger, your hands kind of point out and on the stock bars, and that shit's not comfortable for me. My wrists like to be straightforward. And so for me, when I started getting into that and doing those kind of mods, it was really what made sense for what was comfortable for me. And the more I did it, the more I found the mods that were comfortable, the more I found the mods that made sense. And that's what I went with.
Yeah. So same. I think I'm very similar in that, Jason and I were talking about it yesterday, actually, like, how he went from a big wheel, he had a big wheel bagger, and then, transitioned into performance baggers. But, Um, for me, it was same thing. It was influenced heavily by the Hog chapter and those people there
Yeah.
because that's where I started, like a
Yep.
lot of people.
Yep.
And so that was also an older generation. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, most of the people I'm still friends with, they're all at least 10 years older than me or
Yeah.
close to it. At least a different phase in their life, old enough to where maybe their kids are out of the house, or maybe they're just becoming grandparents,
Mhm.
right? So there was certainly a Hell Yeah Brother feel to a lot of them. A lot of leather, mini apes or whatever. And then I guess to a certain extent, I've got what is it? The Factory 47 or whatever bars on my Street Glide. I'm trying to find a way to get T-bars on that thing without cutting up the dash. But, yeah, I mean, that was the same thing. I had a black Harley leather jacket. I still have chaps and we'll wear them from time. They have a zip out insulation, and that's great for long trips. I don't care. I'll still rock those. I'm not scared, but I've transitioned out of, I've got a leather jacket, but it's not a Harley. Hell yeah. It's custom made from first manufacturer. And, yeah, so it's definitely evolved. I mean, I had just stock headlights, and I had the pointy sissy bar,
Yeah.
off Amazon or whatever,
Yep.
and things like that, and didn't even know what 2-to-1 exhaust was, and so I definitely, but all those things came from the changes I made in my bikes have come from social media, like seeing what other people do.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? And then researching it online to figure out what it is. That all to be said, though, if we didn't have social media, then the magazine business would still be prevalent.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
So I think that I would, I think I would have gotten to where I am today. It would have taken longer.
Mhm.
And then I think I would imagine that it would have come from magazines
Mhm.
and road trips.
Sure. Yep.
Like, if you headed west, especially, or just spending enough time in California, because that's where a lot of that stuff starts,
Mhm.
would have seen those things and then gone down the rabbit hole of figuring out what it is.
Well, and I also like, I'll give you an example. So, when I'm off the bike, I wear Vans almost all the time. High top, low top, you name it. I have all kinds of Vans. And the thing is that I didn't transition like full Dynabro or full Bagger Bro and wear Vans on my bike because I do still want some protection. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so I wear boots, but I don't wear traditional. I have boots that don't look like motorcycle boots that you can wear all the time, but they still have ankle protection and all that kind of stuff in them.
Yeah.
I still wear a leather vest. I mean, I have a first manufacturing leather vest. And I actually have a couple of them. I have a one that has like a what do you call it, like a canvas with leather on
Mhm.
on the top, and then I have a full leather one. And you can tear my vest off my dead body. I mean, I love a vest.
Sure. I do too.
But I'll wear a vest when it's 75, 80 degrees. I don't give a shit. I actually like the vest because I don't like to tuck my shirts in a lot. And so if your shirt is untucked and you're on your bike and you get an updraft, it blows your shirt up over your face, right? And so I
Sure.
like the vest to keep my shirt down. There's just so many things, and I actually love vests that have patches on them. But I love the vests that have patches that mark a period of time. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, like when you see people that have their vests that show, Road Mine to Sturgis, and then they have the year patches, or they have the patch when they went to Yellowstone, or the patch when they went to. I love those because their vests tell a story. I actually have my mom's original vest that she wore in the 1980s on the FXR that I have that picture of.
That's cool.
And it's a jean jacket vest because that's what we wore back in the day, and he cut the sleeves off the jean jacket.
Yeah.
But I have my mom's original vest from 1980, the 1980s that I have
That's
hanging in a
awesome.
closet. So, while
You wouldn't like my vest then because it is full of patches, but for me it's just fun. Like,
well,
there's
like I said, I love a patch vest. I just don't personally wear them anymore.
right.
But one of my friends, Nick, he rocks a patch vest. Bob's got some patches on his vest. I just personally like the plain just a plain vest.
Well, say mine just doesn't tell a story. You'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" Because it goes from a Bush Light old school patch to Dale Earnhardt to Bucky's to whatever. Like there's all kinds of musicians and all that.
But that's not true though. That tells your story, right? It
Well,
might
I
not
say,
tell a story of the road.
way yes.
Right.
I'm sorry. More specifically, it doesn't tell a story of my journey on a motorcycle. It's just a bunch of shit I like or thought was funny.
No, and that's cool. That tells your story. I like the journey of the road patches, right? That's the way my mom.
I get it.
Like when back in the 80s when you got a vest, the only patch that you put on it that you didn't earn was the giant eagle on the back. So you put a giant Harley eagle on the back of your vest, and then everything else was a patch that you earned from the road. Either a toy run you went on or whatever, right? And that's what all they were. My mom's got a button on there that goes, one of the Honda Harley whorehouse pit button.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She's got that button on her vest that she wore like in the 80s, you know?
I've got a big Harley #1 logo on the back of my vest.
Oh,
and
sure.
I had a guy one day say, "Does that mean you're a 1%er?" I was just like, and I was like taking a swig of my beer, and I was like, "No, no, man, it's not. It has nothing to do with that."
That #1 used to always be the red and white stripe. That's a race. That thing came from the race days. That's where that Harley #1
I love
came
that
from.
logo.
Oh, I do too. I do too. It's
classic.
Yep, it's awesome. I super love it. But yeah, so I mean, but
I would say. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say your taste changed. It's like when I started getting tattooed, and I said that I would never get a skull tattoo. I've got 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring that up, but no, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
No, but one of them marks a passage of time. I got it at the first Mama Tried I went to. I got a skull tattoo on my wrist, and I have the MT for Mama Tried on it. And it's a kind of a very old school classic skull, with top hat and a cane.
Nice.
And then the other one is the logo from when we did the giveaway bike build, the autism bike build.
Oh yeah.
And so I've got that logo, and so they're both they both are very important to me, and so
as they should be.
So from that, so I really think that when you talk about influences, it's funny because you say social media, but I was going to say the same thing you said earlier, which is we would be influenced by magazines or events or bike nights or whatever. We would still be influenced by something.
Right. Sure. No, I completely agree. But, certainly there's an aspect people are building bikes or bolting on parts to bikes to appease Instagram or Facebook or whatever, right? Like they just want the likes and hopefully the notoriety that they hope comes with it. For me, I'm so thankful for social media, specifically Instagram, that I've learned about what are T-bars? What is a 2-1? A cam. Like I know what a cam was, but what does that really do for a motorcycle?
Right.
I knew what a cam was, so just going down enabled me to go down these rabbit holes to make my motorcycle better and get it. Certainly taste changed, but also I've been able to put parts on my motorcycles that have served me better for long distance trips, more performance, make it sound better, whatever the case is. My bikes are better off because of what I've learned from social media,
right?
Or just seen. I mean, not necessarily learn everything, but just being exposed, maybe a better way to put it.
Right. And one of the things that I would say I was guilty of for a hot minute, and I just kind of had to be like, there's a part of motorcycling that I was embracing, which was, your bike should represent who you are, right? It just in terms of, how you mod it should represent who you are, and whether or not that means you're being influenced by social media or not, that's whatever it is, right?
Sure.
But there was a period of time when I was like, oh, fuck, I hate that motorcycle. It's not how I would, whatever do it. But then I started thinking more about what that looks like and thinking, there are things like, I would say that my favorite type of motorcycle, like if I'm just going to look at a bike and be like, that bike would make me feel so fucking cool if I was riding it, is a Cholo style bike. Like I love the Cholo style. I fucking love it. I just, I love I love the 70s and 80s speckled paint. You know what I mean? Like the metallic
Hmm.
paint and all the fucking chrome and the high bars and the rolled up, blanket on there. I mean, I love that style of
Did you see the
motorcycle.
one Forever Rad posted a day or two ago
I don't think
in their
I
stories?
don't think I saw it.
It's a guy here locally, Justin. He actually did my Harley gear sequence tattoo on my
Mm-hmm.
forearm and did a piece on my back on my shoulder blade. Um, every almost every part's engraved, Cholo style,
Oh,
Road
sure.
King.
Yep.
That thing is beautiful. Yeah, I'll find it and send it to you. If you like that type, you'll love
Oh,
this bike.
I fucking love them, but it doesn't match that bike. I've always said, like, if I was if I won the lottery, I'd have all of them, right? I'd have a Cholo
Sure,
bike, and I'd have an adventure bike, and I'd have a fucking built FXR, and a touring bike, and I mean, I'd have them all. That way,
sure.
however I wanted to ride is how I would ride, but I'm not, right? I'm not independently wealthy, and I didn't win the lottery, but so I have to decide, like, what am I going to ride, and that's what I want to have is what I'm going to ride. And
Yeah.
so and how I ride and what that looks like is really my focus around that part of it. So um for me, that's really probably what influences me more than anything now
Mm.
is are those things. Are there, it's like a lowrider ST.
Okay.
I love the Lowrider ST. It's like a mini bagger. It has
Hmm.
everything you want. But I don't know truly if I could ride one, only because I think that I would feel very cramped up on it. And I would have to figure out the right way to mod that bike so that I would feel comfortable. And if I did those things, would it then ruin the aesthetic of the motorcycle the way that it is designed to be ridden?
I bet it wouldn't. There's a lot of tall dudes running rolling in STs, and they put Ford controls on it. I mean, just you can pop Heritage Ford controls on it. It's Softail, right?
Right,
And put in the extended seat piece and make it work.
right.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a modern day FXR. Obviously, that's what they modeled it after, and I love that bike.
Yeah. And to me that bike serves all the purposes, right? I mean, you can
Hmm.
tour on it and you could rip around town on it because it's just a smaller version, and it's not wide and bulky and all of the things, right? So, but yeah, I mean, the other thing, when it's funny when you brought this topic up, the one thing that really hit me was it's not only the um not only was I influenced by how I modded my bike or what I would do by social
Hmm.
media and by those things, but also my style around what I wear when I'm on the bike and that kind of stuff has evolved significantly. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
I bought a leather jacket right away. I haven't worn it in probably three years or more.
Mm.
I like it, and I'm not going to sell it. I'll keep it. It's a kind of a racing style Harley bike. It has the big Harley Davidson across it with the orange stripes on the sleeves, and
Mm.
it has a real worn out look to it. Um, I like the jacket. It's just that it is such a big, bulky, heavy piece of gear to be riding with when there's so many better options. A heated jacket is a third of the weight.
Yeah.
And then I can wear it with like a t-shirt all the way down to 30 degrees and just have a t-shirt on underneath it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
So there's just so many other options that make so much more sense to me to use than um than some of that gear. Um,
Yeah, and especially when you talk about heated gear, that gear has evolved so much, especially over the last 5 to 7 years.
mhm,
Where the battery life's better,
mhm,
better. I think a lot of those that came out initially had proprietary plugs for the battery, right? So
mhm.
you couldn't just grab a power bank that you use to recharge your phone or whatever and plug it in, right? So and just more options as well. Obviously, more options is going to drive the price down. So
Yep.
that helps a lot. I agree. I mean, certainly, I would not have a Simpson helmet
Yeah.
either if it wasn't for, I certainly first, obviously, Jason, them, they pushed it. They were a sponsor of his podcast for many years. And then seeing people around here wear them, I decided to give it a whirl because it's a great looking helmet, right? So, but it's also opened my eyes up to other helmets too. So does that mean I go back to a Simpson in a couple of years? I don't know. I mean, maybe I do, maybe I don't. But when that thing dates out, I'll definitely be looking at other options. And I know about those options mainly because social media. Just I don't know that I've certainly been influenced by social media to buy things, but I feel like I've done a really great job of still buying things that I need. Like they served the purpose. Like
Right.
I wanted bars and I saw, I know I needed different bars, so I looked at different ones, or I wanted a different exhaust. I wanted 2-in-1. So I did my research, right? So I learned about 2-in-1 exhaust from following people on social media. The 2-in-1 exhaust I picked wasn't because of social media and someone, saying, oh, it's the best thing ever while they're getting paid, $300 a month by XYZ exhaust company to say that.
Right.
So for me, it feels like a good balance for sure. And I mean, I'm not naive to the point where there may have been decisions I made on certain parts or clothing may have had to do more so with social media and the person I follow. I get that. But as a whole, mine's not, oh, I really like this influencer, I'm going to buy everything they have.
Right.
That's not me. I'll never do that. So.
Right. No, I would agree with that too. I would say that I've been influenced by parts and by certain things, but it was like when I decided I wanted to do a T-bar setup, I didn't go with bars and risers. I went with actual just all one piece unit, right?
Yeah.
If I were to go back and do it again, I would go with moto bars and risers. And the reason why is you have more options for adjustment.
Sure.
But I don't regret it. I like it on my bike, but like there's things that I have too that were stylish maybe a few years ago. They're like, so I have hand guards on my bike. That was a real big thing, like in the Dynaculture for a while, and they made them for baggers. I've got hand guards on mine. I actually have integrated blinkers in mine. I think mine are super cool and they're paint matched. So
Nice.
On my bike, I think they look really cool. But they serve a very important function, which is when I ride, when it's really cold, it keeps all of that wind off my hands and all of the road debris and bugs. And so when I'm on the road and I'm, breaking down the miles, it's just a little bit of extra protection, Yeah,
I mean, listen, we all been hit by a rock in the hand or whatever, or a damn pterodactyl, whatever bug in July or August that's flying through the air that splatters all over the place. It goes longer. I mean, think about like Bogey Biker. I mean, he bought those lowers from Advan Black after he caught a big old chunk of rock in his shin, and I think he had to get stitches, or it bled like hell. It took a while to heal and bruised him up pretty good because right on the shin, So, so there is purpose behind it, not always aesthetics.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I got hit by a semi tire exploded when we were going down the road. I've never seen that before. Not like shredded, it exploded into a million pieces. And luckily we were far enough back. I got hit by shrapnel from it though. One of them hit me and it bruised me and I got like a little hematoma or whatever, but it didn't break the skin. But I get it. I ran lowers for a long time. I'd still probably have hard lowers on my bike. They just don't work with the ST fairing.
Gotcha.
So, it's there are so many options of things out there that are, some are functional, some are style. There's a variety of things that are good and bad about every.
Well, you know what's really stylish though?
What's that?
Moto State merch. I'll tell you right now. If you hop on our website, there's a link to our merch store. Amazing hats, t-shirts, hoodies. As Ryan likes to call them, beanie hats, or the appropriate name, toboggans, as we like to call them.
But okay.
In God's country, that's what we call them. And so hop on there, get you some merch, look cool like like everyone else wearing it except me. So don't forget about that. Just want to throw that plug in there. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You
No,
like that? That was pretty smooth.
that was really smooth. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's right.
it's a yeah. I think that when I say that my styles have evolved too, they're like I've made a mod on my bike and then changed it. You know what I mean? But the funny thing is some of those parts and some of those mods I have, like I changed out I used to have like a sissy bar backrest rack kind of situation because I ran a instead of a full tour pack, I had just a separate bag that I would use when I went on road
Sure.
trips, a rickrack bag actually, and that system is all in use. It's on my friend Kenny's bike. I sold it all to him when I went with a full tour pack, situation.
Nice. Yeah.
When I went to a 2-in-1 exhaust, I had Tab the BAM sticks with the zombie baffles.
Yep.
Sold those to my buddy Kenny. They're still being run on another bike.
I'm sorry. Who made those?
They are Tab Performance.
Yeah, one of our lovely sponsor, Tab Performance. Want to thank them for sponsoring us. Man, I'm on a roll. This is great, man. Come on, man.
But
I'm gonna give myself a raise. I mean, I'm really doing great.
You should.
Yeah.
Yep. So I gave or sold those to my buddy too. I don't remember if I sold them or gave them to him. I don't remember. Upgraded to a 2-in-1 and
he probably didn't pay you. Better go collect.
And and we'll be upgrading to a 2-in-1 Tab here for this year. So
yep.
It's an interesting scenario too, because sometimes I have been influenced by aesthetics, but more oftentimes than not, then I find how it's going to work for me functionally. You know what I mean? There are some things aesthetically that functionally I decided not to go that route, or I end up going a different route, or you know what I mean? So it's all a matter of what you like. And I think to circle back around with what I was saying before, I appreciate now more when somebody comes up and their bike is different than my bike, or they've done different mods, rather than being critical. Now I just appreciate it. You know what I mean? That represents their style. That represents what they like. That maybe it looks like them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to paint skulls on my bike, but I'm not going to say that I hate them on another bike. It's not me. But if that's you, you do you, boo. Like that's what I love about motorcycling, is that, people's bikes oftentimes reflect their personality or who they are or what they like.
Yeah. And it's kind of back to, what we talked about in the world of the internet. Like, not everyone, you don't have to make a comment on everything.
Right.
Same things in real life. Like, you see the get back whips or the skulls that are airbrushed. You don't like it. You think it looks stupid. Cool. Think that to yourself. You don't have to you don't have to be vocal about it. Right. But I agree. Like, for me, like even like last night, I was checking out some of the guys' bikes there and like, oh, what did they do there? Well, what's that? And just trying to understand it. Is that something that could better help me? That'd be awesome, right? Is that something maybe I need? Like, is that a better setup or whatever? Just like, I started with a tour pack and now I'm going to a Pelican case. It's just I like the rugged look, especially, and I think it matches on the FXR. But for the Street Glide, I just like something simple that is, I don't know, something about it. I like it now better than the tour pack. So there's a great example of how it's evolved, right? Like your style's evolved. Right. And it's just something simple and straightforward. And actually, it's got wheels. I could take that thing off. It's a quick release and wheel it. I mean, it still has the mount on it, but I could still wheel it off of there if I didn't want to leave it on the bike.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's just things are going to evolve over time, and you learn more. And like I said, I did exhaust when I first got my Street Glide, but then I learned what a 2-in-1 is. Okay, I want that. Because I learned not because it was cool, because honestly, I was more worried about my OCD because I've got extended bags, right? So there's a cutout for an exhaust pipe that isn't there, and I was more worried about my OCD than anything. But I was like, this will help the performance of my bike. Okay, let's do that.
Don't know if you know this or not, but Advan Black actually makes a replacement lower bag that does not have that cutout if you wanted to keep the extended bags.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I've bought used Harley OEM short bags. I just gotta get them painted. So
Sure. So there you go. What are you
yeah.
What are you waiting for?
Well, it's either do that or front suspension, which I've already bought the plus twos. I gotta get the fork tubes and all that. So and Springle's backed up. I don't know how many months in
What?
painting.
Well,
So
you better get on his list then.
I
If
already
he
told him. I
if
was
he's
like, hey,
backed up 100 months, I mean, you got to get on the list now so you can get him done when he does get
100 months?
on your
Shit, I'll
calendar.
probably be dead in 100 months. But yeah, I mean, I may not make it through the weekend. There'll be some drinking involved. But no, he's backed up. And I was like, if that's even a winter project for next year, that's fine. I mean, my bags work just great. For me, that is totally aesthetic piece of it, right? When I bought that bike in 21, that was what was in. And I didn't have a choice. Like, unless I was buying like the with the Street Glide Ultra or whatever. Like those came with short bags, but the regular Street Glide and Road Glide, those are extended bags. I didn't have a choice. But now I would like shorter bags.
Yeah.
I like that look better.
Yeah.
So.
I found out when I got the shorter bags on mine that I didn't really lose any space either, to be honest with you. They're almost identical in the amount of space that they take. Not quite, but not enough for me to make a difference. I use the same bag inserts that I used on my extended bags to put in them when I pack my stuff. So it's all good,
Yeah, I'm not too really concerned with that. So yeah, but that'll be another project for another day. I want to get the suspension on. Fork tubes aren't cheap. Jesus Christ. So because I got to get the extended ones. So and they're going to have to be black instead of the bronze-ish smoked gray color that comes on my bike. But whatever. I know it's sad.
Yeah, I'm crying on the inside.
Yeah, I mean,
your front end of your bike is black though, anyway, isn't it?
Yes, except for the fork tubes.
Yeah, so no one.
Yeah, I mean, it'll look fine. Yeah. It'll look fine. No one's gonna notice.
No one's gonna see. And if they do notice,
what I think.
Yeah, and if they do notice, you just slap them in the mouth anyway.
So, well, then go buy me some different fork tubes, motherfucker. I don't, I ain't paying for that shit.
Right.
You go get them painted for me, whatever.
So have you? Let me ask you this. So when you're talking about being influenced, have you ever been influenced by something that was maybe a fad or was in or whatever in motorcycling, and then you kind of went down that route, and then you're like, oh shit, this isn't for me?
That's a good question. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I mean, I think the influence that social media has provided me in the motorcycle part of my life has been parts and accessories and some clothing, definitely helmet, but a little bit of clothing as well. But I can't think of, I don't know what that would be. I mean, I never went down the Vans route. I'm a boots guy, occasional high top guy. But I don't think I've gone down something that I was like, oh, this is a bad idea. I've done that with plenty of roads and some bad dates when I was single. But not, that could be 3 episodes right there.
There you go. Well, and I think it's one of those things that has crossed over, right? Because I was a skateboard kid when I lived in Southern California and I wore Vans.
Sure.
Way back then, I just wore them. Like when my wife and I got married, I changed out of my dress shoes and I had black Vans to wear with my tux. You know what I mean? And that was literally 30 years ago. So like for me, that's just my style. That's who I am. I've been wearing Vans since the 80s. I took a brief hiatus and just was kind of stuck in the Nike realm when I was a sport kid for a hot minute. But for the most part, that's what I've been wearing my entire life and all of my adult life. I've had...
How many years until you got the jean shorts and the white New Balances, though?
Before that'll happen? I'm going to say probably at least 12 to 15 years before I think I graduate to the jean shorts and white socks.
I just heard 36 months. Okay, got it. Cool.
36 months is what you heard. Okay.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
When I got married, I wore black cowboy boots.
Sure.
And I didn't own anything black, so I had to go buy those. And I think I wore them once after that. Then, and this comes surprise, I threw them away because, well, marriage is over. I don't need these anymore. So, see ya.
So in the cowboy boot realm, you're not a black cowboy boot kind of guy then.
I'm not. So I own almost no black clothing until I started riding motorcycles.
Okay.
I was a very earth tone, neutral,
Sure.
brown, a lot of browns.
Sure.
I have a pair of black cowboy boots, but the uppers are brown.
Okay.
Because
what color's your vest?
it is that like Carhartt color with black leather on top and a stripe at the bottom.
Yep. Okay.
I definitely have way more black in my. Another day I went to the gym. I had black warm up pants on and a black hoodie and a black hat on and black tennis shoes. And I was like, who the fuck am I? I don't know who I am anymore. This is crazy. What the heck?
Oh, that's funny.
So it's definitely evolved. I mean, it's hard, not impossible, but I think it's hard not to own black, at least black t-shirts if you're in the Harley world. It's just, it's, you know, and that's fine. I'm not complaining. I've evolved, I guess, you know, with my color scheme. I've gone from brown to black. I'm really stepping up my game or something. But yeah. So yeah, I never went down like I know you have a lot of Dixon flannels, or I think you do.
I do, yeah.
I have two, and I don't know that they're good shirts. I just was never, I didn't catch on to that craze or that rabbit hole, whatever you want to call it. And the two I bought were because they did a collab with my favorite country singer, and then they did one called the Smoky Mountains for, you know, I was back home.
Yep.
Okay, you got me there.
Yep.
And they're, like I said, they're great shirts. But there's some people that have quite a few of them, and I got nothing against that. I just never went down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, and I think for me too, again, it kind of harkens back to, you know, I graduated from high school in the 90s when grunge was like all the rage, and so
sure.
I have worn flannels my whole life too, and so I just kind of graduated to a flannel that works on motorcycles, works outside of motorcycles. It's what I wear all winter long. I wear flannels every single day. So again, for me, it's just one of the things that kind of works with my own personal style, and just so happens that style also collides with motorcycles and, you know, all kinds of things. But I mean, again,
if it wasn't for Dixon, you'd still be wearing a flannel shirt.
I would, Dixon. For sure. Like I was getting them from Tractor Supply. I was getting them from like in any of the outdoor outlet stores. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Sam's, Costco,
absolutely.
those big tables. I mean, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
The thing that I like about the Dixon flannels truly is that I wear flannels so much that more oftentimes than not, number one, they would wear out, or number two, they would shrink.
Sure.
And so these don't do either one of those things. I've never worn out a Dixon flannel and they don't shrink. So for me, it's the perfect amalgamation. And I've gotten to the point now where I've spent too much money on them. So I try to get them when they're on sale or when they have sales or whatever. I'm a lot more picky. I don't just buy every new one that comes out or anything like that. You know, I've got enough now that I don't do that shit anymore. So,
sure.
You know,
yeah, my clothes shrink sometimes too. It has nothing to do with me gaining weight. It's the fucking dryer. That thing, man, it just shrinks my clothes. I don't understand
shrinks them
why.
all the way down. For me, it's always the length in the arms, dude. That's what happens to me on everything I own. Lengthen the arms or lengthen the body. It gets too short or too short in the sleeves, and I'm like, fuck it, I get rid of it. I can't wear it. So
got your little midriff going on.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm not that doesn't that's not flattering on me anymore. So.
The ladies love it. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Rocking to the dad bod hard.
Go get Hurry and get them New Balances, buddy. That's all I know, man. Go great with your jorts. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Too funny. So yeah, I mean, that's I thought it would be a good topic to cover, like, because I think I looked at this as when I first thought of this, is like, well, that's really negative. Like, yeah, social media's had a bad influence because I think that's the first thing a lot of people think. Oh,
Yeah.
social media is bad
Yeah.
influence.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
actually, I mean, for you and I both, like
Yeah.
it's really it's opened our eyes to other things, and that's one of the positive things of social media. I mean, we wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for social media, right? So I
For
mean,
sure.
I wouldn't know any of these guys in Dallas I saw last night if it wasn't for social media. So there are good things from
Yeah,
that.
my whole writing group came from social media.
There you
Some
go.
of my best friends that I have right now. I mean, I went down to Louisville and spent the weekend with two guys that was entirely due to social media. I mean, one of them obviously was Tony, who I did a podcast with for 7 years, and
Hmm.
the other one was Jay, who lives in Louisville, who I met through there, and I stayed with Jay for 3 days. So, it really does. For me, like I said, this me, I can't speak for everyone. Social media has been a game changer for me,
Yeah,
in terms of making connections and friendships and so so I would have to say now, because I feel comfortable in the niche that I'm in, that I'm probably not as heavily influenced, but I'm also not deeply into modding a bike right now. I mean, my bike is probably not going to get a lot done to it for a hot minute. You know what I mean? Because it's pretty much done. There's maybe some bobbles. I have like a different phone
sure.
mount that I'm putting on and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And there's a couple of things I've
Are
thought
you gonna
about,
do the
but
Peak Designs?
I have a Peak Designs. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I moved to, is Peak Designs. Yeah.
Hey, and that was, I've mentioned him a lot. Jace swore up and down by him, and I was like, and I had tried 2 or 3 other phone mounts and I hated them. I was like, I'll give it a try. I'm desperate for something.
Yeah.
I don't. They're awesome.
Yeah.
I couldn't recommend them more.
Yeah, I love the case. I have the car mount, which I love.
Hmm.
I have the mount on my bike. I've connected mine, but I haven't used it yet. I haven't installed it on my bike. I have a different company on there, and I'm not going to disparage another company. The other company I have on there is one that tons of people have had, and I had really good luck with it. But I'm going to go a different route. So,
Hmm. Sure.
um, I'm excited to use the new one. It's going to make it easier to take it off and on, and use my phone when I
It's always
probably
fun
shouldn't, and
because
that kind of stuff.
that magnet they have in the case. It's always fun when you sit down on a table and not realize there's metal in that table. You go to pick it up and you can't pick it up. Like, oh,
Mhm.
it's stuck.
Mhm.
But I feel like, man, it's so secure on the handlebar. I have
Yeah.
zero concerns.
Yeah. But there's some other great options with that. You know what I mean? You have that magnet there. You can throw it on your, like, I've oftentimes stuck it to my toolbox when I'm in the garage working, and
Mm,
there's
that's a
just
great idea.
a variety of ways where it's super handy too. So,
Sure.
that's just another option for how you utilize it. So,
Yeah. So speaking of working on bikes and being influenced to, in buying parts, any winter projects you're working on wrapping up right now?
not wrapping up. I'm gonna put a tab 2-in-1 on my bike.
Hmm.
So I have those parts sitting in the garage waiting for me to get motivated to do it. That's probably going to happen within the next couple 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
Um, so that'll be on there. The Peak Designs phone mount will go on my bike in the next couple weeks. I'll get that stuff wrapped up, and the other bike news, I have some other bike news, but I got to keep it under the wraps for a while because I don't know where it's going to land, and it's going to be a hot minute. So,
Ooh,
yeah,
anticipation.
yeah. But no, but that's it. I don't have any big plans. I hope to get out and ride more this year, even if it's even on weekend trips. There might not be monumental trips planned, but weekend trips or whatever certainly are going to be um, are going to be something, um, definitely, that I have
Sure.
more things that I want to do. I see myself using my motorcycle more from a commuting aspect this year, that kind of thing. So I've got some I've got some plans. My life is changing. So
In a good way.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, part of it wasn't, my completely uh my choice, but it's changing, and it's going to be okay. So,
Yeah, I think it's working out good for you.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, I've got to finish up um, tour pack. I got some new highway peg mounts that attach to the floorboard. Going to give those a try. I got to replace my Ramjet all-in-one integrated tail light on my FXR. The brake lights went out, so I got to pull that off there and send it back to them. And then I also have a Tab 2-in-1 red line that I'll be putting on the Street Glide over the next probably 3 or 4 weeks. And I think I'm going to do my first install video ever for YouTube and see how that goes. I can't wait to hear y'all make fun of me on that. That'll be great. That'd be great.
That sounds great. Well,
Yeah.
By the time this comes out, we will have already been to Mama Tried. And
Yep.
so we can.
This is the before.
This is the before.
This is the before.
This is definitely
Man,
the before.
the after might be a little haggard, so get ready.
It might be hard. It might be hard. So
yeah.
Well, thank you all again for listening. Thank you for caring. Give us a thumbs up. Make some comments. Go out there, support us. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. You know, if you can, give us a like, write a comment. That always helps the algorithm. Share it with a friend. Tell everybody that you know. We are feeling good about where we are. The year has been really good to us. We've seen some positive things happen.
We're up like crazy. Like we're up like 40-45% this year since January. Compared to last year.
Yeah.
So thank you all. That means a lot. We work really hard at this. We put a lot of time into it. So thank you guys for showing us the love. It does mean a lot.
Yeah. And if you feel like you want to support us further, you know, you can join Patreon, and we would really appreciate it. And otherwise, we will see some of you in a few days.
That's right. Milwaukee, here we come. You'll never be the same.
Peace.
See y'all.